You're listening to Cool Air Hot Takes.
Welcome to Cool Air Hot Takes, the podcast that's as smart as your building's thermostat, but twice as fun. I'm Charlie Jelen.
And I'm Dan. Every couple of weeks, we get together to bring you guys the latest news in HVAC, of course, some hot takes, and expert interviews with industry leaders.
And this week, we've got Zentz. He's the Technician Productivity Manager here at Trane. We're going to talk about all things HVAC technicians, what's grinding their gears, what's the future look like, and what challenges does the industry face.
And later on, we'll have some HVAC headlines. We're going to do application engineer fantasy football, so stay tuned for that. And we'll wrap it up with the stat of the day.
All right, I have been very derelict in my duties for season 2. Yeah, it's not just Dan and I that are getting these guests to come on. We have people from all over the country, all over the company that are helping us find these guests and getting them connected with us. And I have been forgetting to thank them. So we got to run back through a little bit here. First off, thank you to Erica Gallant and Trevor Jolson for getting us hooked up with Bruce Checknoff from the Renewable Thermal Collaborative. Thank you to Tim Sample for getting us connected with Steven Zatarski at Nuvolo. And last, certainly not least, our pal, Mr. Aaron Eilers, 42L, for getting us connected with Sam Brown from Server Farm. Wow. So there you go. Thank you. And by the way, listener out there, if you have people that you think would be a good fit for the show, send them our way, coolair.hottakes@trane.com.
Takes a village.
Good one.
You got a hot take today?
Well, I don't have a hot take. There was a listener hot take that was so good that
we got some good listener hot takes.
I know, they're good.
I'm liking it.
This is from Eric Wilson in Louisville. You got to say that right. Louisville. Yep. He sent in his hot take to the inbox, coolair.hottakes@trane.com. And his was, I'm just going to read it a little bit. He goes, I remember Betamax versus VHS and Blu-ray versus DVD. I experienced Lawn Talk versus BACnet and Zigbee versus AirFi in the BAS industry. What I see coming, a battle over data normalization.
Oh,
yeah, it was good. All right, so here's what he wrote. Everyone will have their BAS data in the cloud. It is going to be about the best way to organize that data so that it can be assembled by multiple systems for multiple purposes. Owners will want to be able to use any analytics, AI, digital twin type smart services from multiple companies and to be able to switch between those providers. Essentially, he's saying that whoever can take all of the data that's in any one of our systems and get it into a usable packet for other third-party companies to be able to use, that is going to be like this transition or translation layer that is going to be very valuable.
Like John Simone was talking about?
Kind of, yeah. Like, how do you get your data ready to be processed into AI? You can't just send AI loose on like disparate data sets. It needs a little bit more than that.
It needs to be trained.
It needs a little bit, yeah. So this is a great hot take. So thank you, Eric Wilson, for sending that in. Appreciate it.
That is a good one.
What's your hot take today?
I couldn't help myself for this. And I have to say, on my way out to the studio this morning, I saw one, so it just reinvigorated me. I am really hot on mini excavators right now.
Mini excavators?
Yeah.
What are you doing with the mini excavator?
Well, so we got a farm up 40 minutes out of town. And we need to get some...
Mindoro area?
Yeah, Mindoro area. It's a beautiful area. And we need some more trails. And my son is getting into dirt bikes, and he needs a supercross track. So like
a supercross track.
How do you go about building a supercross track and then trails? And I was on Facebook and I stumbled upon these straight from the Chinese factory excavators for like $3,000 to $5,000.
Nice.
And they look pretty awesome. I've been watching some YouTube videos. I'm like jacked up about it. I'm really thinking like next spring, I might become an excavator guy.
Okay, I like it.
And who doesn't need an excavator guy?
We'll have to do like a remote show from the land.
Like a demo, yeah.
Yeah. All right. Remember, listener, we want your hot takes. We want your questions as well. Let us know what you got. You can send us an email, coolair.hottakes@trane.com. Leave us a review on Apple or leave us a comment on YouTube or Spotify. And as always, you can find all this information in the show notes for every episode.
Next, let's get to your HVAC headlines.
HVAC Headlines. Your news today.
It's 7:42 in Cairo. Here's your headlines.
Hey, I got a headline for you.
Whoa, jumping in. I
got to get in there. I got to get my spot. I got a big headline. It is my birthday today.
Hey, happy birthday.
41 years old, so working my way into my 40s, feeling pretty good.
Well, very good. Headline number one.
Steal that.
Dan's
Let's go.
birthday. I love it. All right, headline number 2 for today, the future of cold storage, innovation and energy efficiency. So this is from HVAC and Refrigeration Insider. Yeah, we talk a lot about comfort cooling, we talk a lot about process cooling, data centers, industrial stuff. We do not talk a lot about the cold chain. So the cold chain is all sorts of different areas of cold storage as well as transportation. So Trane has an entire business unit for refrigerated transportation. That's our Thermo King business. But the major points of the article here is, why does energy efficiency matter now more than ever? They cite rising costs, shifting regulation, and growing demand for sustainable business practices. The key areas that they came up with that the article cited is like, these are the growing areas of either energy efficiency or sustainability inside cold storage. Number one, which I am a big fan of, really good insulation for any application. But that's what they cited, is we need to move away from current technologies for insulation, move into extruded polystyrene or vacuum insulated panels. Vacuum insulated panels, I think, is, yeah, you think of Yeti, basically Yeti anything.
Oh, yeah.
That's all vacuum
There's
insulated.
got to be a ton of opportunity in improving the performance of these buildings.
All right. The second thing that they looked at here was smart controls. So just changing the way that you control primarily the compression system. So today it's just, you run it for 6 hours, it's off for a half hour. It's like base level controls on a lot of these. So how do you start to incorporate feedback controls using thermostat, using sensors, whatever? The third one, PCMs, phase change materials. So this is being able to run your compression circuits longer, so you don't have to cycle them on and off as much. These PCMs, they essentially act as little storage devices inside the room itself. So you can put them on the walls, you can put them on the ceiling. If it's a really big warehouse, you can put them on top of the racks where they store material. But essentially what it does is you charge these materials up with just the air conditioning that's going on in the space. They hold that energy. And then when you turn off your equipment, instead of the room like instantly coming down to a set point and then firing back up, there's a drift period in there where you don't have to run anything.
Makes sense.
So it just helps with reliability of the equipment. And it can also help you in the middle of the day when it's the hottest outside and your equipment is the least efficient.
More capacity.
And then the last one was just pure mechanical efficiency. Stuff's getting more efficient, better compressors, better heat exchangers, better thermodynamics. Cool. So I thought it was a good headline. All right, headline number 3, how we're making data center more flexible to benefit power grids. So this article came straight from Google. In season 1, we talked with Adam Scarcella from Voltus about demand response, and that's what a lot of this article hits on. And one of the topics was how important it is for new large loads coming onto the grid to be flexible.
Very important.
Very important. The reason it's important is because, generally speaking, we don't have enough electrical power to power all of the data centers or all the large loads that are coming online. And that's because a lot of times, if the load is not flexible, you have to be able to send the peak at any given point in time.
Yep.
And so you end up not oversizing, but there's a safety factor where...
Got a lot of generation.
Yeah, a lot of generation for potentially a couple hours of the entire year where you're actually peaking.
Yep.
So what this article is getting at is, if your data center can be flexible, which a lot of data centers actually can't be that flexible. It depends on the workload going on in the data center itself. I was going to ask about
that. Like some can, some can't.
Correct, yeah. And so if the data center, if the workload of the servers is for search-based, if it's map-based or cloud-based, a lot of those are just on all the time, 24/7, have to be available. But newer workloads, especially machine learning, they can be more flexible. And so that's what this Google plant is doing. They piloted this in a facility in Omaha, proved it out, and now they're designing it into another facility in Fort Wayne. But essentially, what it allows you to do is it gets you connected, interconnected faster, because you don't need as much power. You do not have to replace as much new transmission and new power plants. So if you think about it, like if the data center peaks at 100 megawatts, they have to give them 100 megawatts at the worst case condition.
Yep.
But if Google says, hey, I can turn everything off during those worst cases, there's extra capacity that's out there available.
Which in that case, that could be a lot of energy you're talking about too.
Yeah, absolutely. And so it allows, call it stranded capacity, that if you're able to be flexible with your loads, you can grab that stranded capacity and use it throughout the year.
Interesting. Good stuff.
All right. Up next, we've got Zach Zentz. He's the Technician Productivity Manager at Trane. Don't go anywhere.
Are you ready to elevate your building design and analysis process? Introducing Trace 3D Plus from Trane.
Well, listener, Trace 3D Plus delivers faster, more accurate results through an intuitive workflow that aligns perfectly with today's building processes.
With Trace 3D Plus version 7, you'll find improved functionality, more system configurations, and outputs designed to support your business efforts.
And version 7 also includes enhanced data visualizer upgrades, making it easier than ever to analyze and compare your designs.
Trace 3D Plus, making your job easier, your design smarter, and your buildings more sustainable. Visit Trane.com to get started today.
All right, listener, we've got with us today a blue blood Baltimorean. I think that's how you say it. We'll find out shortly. But this guy loves all Baltimore sports teams. He's a skilled bartender. He's a dad to 2 boys. His dad is a technician. His uncle is a technician. He we'll find out, a technician. Needless to say, a white windowless van in this guy's driveway is not a sight he's unused to. Welcome to Cool Air Hot Take, Zach Zentz.
No problem. Thank you guys for having me. I appreciate it.
All right. So give us your dad's a technician, uncle's a technician. I'm assuming that's how you got into this.
Yeah. So my father started years ago. He's been with Trane around 35 years at this point.
Oh, awesome.
And then my uncle, my dad's brother, was also a Trane technician in the same office. My father's still a technician with the Baltimore Trane office, nearing the end of his career, but not quite there yet.
All right.
And your boys are trying to be technicians too, I assume.
Yeah, my son has said he wants to work for Trane, but I said that a lot too when I was younger, and my father tried to push me other directions. I tried many for a while, and then ultimately found, it was a good living, so decided to take it up.
Nice. All right. Well, the name of the show is Cool Air Hot Takes. We ask all of our guests to come on with a hot take, whether it's personal, professional, anything in between. What's the hot take for today's episode?
Can I give you 2, one personal, one professional?
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
Love it. Yeah.
All right. We'll start with the personal one. Personal is back in 1996, Jeffrey Mayer was a 13-year-old kid who robbed a catch from Tony Tarasco in Game 1 of the 1996 American League Championship Series with the Yankees and Orioles, and that sent the Orioles on a downward spiral, and it was the incorrect call. It was not a home run. Should have been an out.
It was like Bartman before Bartman.
Yes.
Kind of thing?
Yeah. Okay. Exactly. And as O's fans were still suffering the fate of a 13-year-old back in 1996.
Oh,
Wow.
what a tragic
deep.
story.
Yeah.
Yes. Professional is a discussion I had with a manager years ago when I first got into the trade, where I was told that get away from water-cooled chillers. They're a thing of the past. It's not the way the future will be. Granted, this was 14 years ago. And I think that recently things have turned. Water-cooled chillers will be around for quite a while.
All right. Yeah.
Wow. I hadn't heard that. That's interesting.
Product managers on the water-cooled side everywhere are applauding you. All right, Zach, you're a technician productivity project manager. What does that mean? What do you do for Trane?
Man, anything and everything related to technicians. I'm involved in the new product development teams. I sit on a lot of the meetings from a serviceability and service tools aspect. What is the best way that we should design some of our pieces of equipment so that techs have an easier job of working on them, or they're able to accurately do the tasks that they need to do to maintain and repair the equipment? And then also, do we have the tools in the field that we need to be able to do that work, or do we need to prepare the field with new tools, new equipment to make sure that our service techs are able to service the equipment? In addition to that, we are running a new hire technician onboarding program where we're centralizing some of the tasks that our managers need to do to bring a new technician on at Trane to try and support the regions with some of the massive growth that the Trane service has seen in the past number of years. And we're also running a pilot around parts delivery, making some of these things available to our technicians on demand, and just keeping in touch with various parts of the business and making sure that a technician's opinion, a technician's needs are part of the conversation and they're considered when some of the decisions are made.
There are a lot to jump into there. I think one of the common themes that you hear, no matter who you talk to in terms of an OEM or any contracting business, is the lack of technicians available today. So let's start there. What are some of the biggest challenges that our industry is facing on the technician front?
The number one thing is just availability and the numbers. I think trade schools at the high school level are much fewer and farther between than they used to be in years past. There was a big drive for a number of years around you have to go to college. And I was coming through high school at that time as well. I went to a school that prepared me to go to college, and I did go to college and ended up finishing my degree, but I got about halfway through college, by the time I decided, hey, I think I want to pivot to something else. And, I enjoyed doing something different every day, working with my hands, working on the type of equipment that we work on. So I think the number one challenge really is just finding the talent available. Luckily, within Trane, we have a number of resources for that. But there's a bigger industry issue that probably needs to be looked at, from making sure that we're preparing individuals that want to pursue work in the trades to make sure that they have the tools and they have that step when they eventually get into the workforce.
So from your perspective, do you think that's changing at all? We're getting more kids interested in the trades? Because I have to say, I did the same thing that you did. I went to college after high school, and I don't think I should have right away. I should have gone to the technical college or something. It would have been
pharmacy wasn't right for you? What are you trying to say?
There you go. I blame the high school. I blame my guidance counselor. But no, do you think that's changing?
It seems like the conversation is taking place more often now, that, the trades are an acceptable way to go, an acceptable career, and seeing that there is a need for individuals in the trade. So I think the conversation's shifting. The second step would be getting the infrastructure in place to support the individuals who do want to do that or choose that route. Like, shop class seems to be a thing of the past in most high schools. And thinking about the days when my father went through, he split his time between traditional high school and a vocational high school. There's not the diversity of different trade classes offered to some of the kids coming through high school these days. So even in my time, I had to finish high school, then go do trade school after that. I think starting to get some of those kids into the trades during high school and maybe coming out a first-year apprentice, second-year apprentice, third-year apprentice is on its way. We just really have to start making the investments. And I think companies driving it is a big help. I think we're starting to. We're just not quite there yet.
Got it. Yeah. What's the minimum requirement for a technician to come in and be a trained technician? Do you have to have some accreditation, or can you come on with Trane right out of high school and then work that way?
So Trane does have its own internal TAP program where we will take individuals potentially straight out of high school. The local office will send them to the TAP program where they will spend time in the field learning with our technicians, as well as in the classroom, basically going through a Trane internal apprenticeship. And then depending on the areas, they have different routes. There are things like we have sort of high school internships where we do potentially have high schools that do have some kids with interest in the trades, and we can partner them with a trained technician a couple days a week during the summer to see if that is a path they want to pursue down the road. And then, the good thing is we get to test them out, see their interest level, and if they work out, we're feeding our own technician force.
Love it.
Nice.
What's okay, so other than just the raw availability, the number of technicians out there, talk to our listener a little bit about what a technician does on a day-to-day basis. For those that don't know what a technician does, give us an idea, day in the life, basic, just intro to what a technician is and what they do.
We have, I'll say, three main types of work here, which is number one, maintaining equipment that's operating, doing your inspections, doing your preventative maintenance to make sure that equipment continues to run. We also then have startups where a new piece of equipment's coming to the field and you're going to start it over for the first time, log it, make sure that it's ready to go and it's operating the way that it should be as of it leaving the factory. And then we also have just standard service call work. Somebody calls and says, hey, I'm too hot. Hey, I'm too cold. We need somebody to come out and look at the equipment. One of the things I loved about being a technician was every day I was driving to a different building. Every day I was driving to a different area of town, seeing different things. It was a new challenge. Interacting with different people was something that I always enjoyed. You get in your truck in the morning, you look into your cell phone, see what your call is for that day, and then you prepare for the day, drive to the job. You start the job, you may be ordering parts, you may be looking up parts, you may be using a laptop quite a bit, maybe using your tools the entire time. I think the biggest challenge these days seems to be that we're using our laptops as often as we're using our tool bag anymore, which is a change in the field. But I will also say that the younger techs coming in, they have an aptitude for that already, which is great. And honestly, you'll be surprised how often the older techs are teaching the younger techs mechanical skills, and the younger techs are teaching those older techs the computer skills and the troubleshooting involved in that way.
I like it.
Yeah. Trane has a ton of different kind of products, from residential all the way up to CentriVacs that we are here in La Crosse. I assume a technician doesn't just start like, hey, go start the CentriVac up. How do you get, is it training, or how do they get from different, maybe like one level to another, or like a type of product, or what does that look like?
So number one, in the field training with another technician is the most valuable at all times. That hands-on knowledge, learning on your own. with another individual who's experienced in that type of equipment day to day. That's the number one transfer of knowledge that's happening with any technician. And in addition to that, there's just a bunch of resources available to us that we have. The greatest thing now is, in years past, it used to be an actual hardcover books or hard copy books, and every tech had a shelf on their truck full of individual books. All of those things are available online now through PDFs, so I can carry any number of manuals in my laptop and be able to access, just a plethora of information that I need. The new equipment is probably the hardest to keep up on, just because newer styles of equipment are coming out faster than they ever have before. So technicians are typically very familiar with the traditional Trane brands that have been around for years, and they've built their legacy, the RTACs or Centrovacs, all of those. But the newer stuff, there's just tweaks to it to make it operate a little differently. Those are the things you want to research and learn. And honestly, as a technician, there's a lot of research on your own time.
Yeah, I bet. And especially in the space that we're in now, the amount of new product coming at you guys is probably double now than it was 10 years ago, with everything from the expansion of the products in data centers and then the products on the heating side of the business for heat pumps.
Yes.
I mean, that's crazy because we can't even keep all this stuff straight, but you guys have to keep them operational and maintain.
Yeah.
That's got to be a task.
It's a challenge, especially now. Things are operating differently than they ever have before. It wasn't happening very often in the past that things were heating and cooling at the same time. Mm-hmm. Now you have that. That's a common thing that's occurring in a lot of buildings. So yeah, it is, as a tech, it's difficult to stay on top of, but the biggest thing for any technician is if you're facing a challenge for the first time you haven't seen, is just kind of step back to the basics. Everything operates under the same principles. Start from there. We always say, like, hey, cut the problem in half, eliminate one side. Now you're focused on the other side. And honestly, being part of a good team is a big part of that. Having those resources available internal that you can call at any time and they'll pick up the phone and point you in the right direction, even though they'll rarely solve the problem for you, but just getting you pointed in the right direction. Sometimes staring at something for too long, you need to take a step back and listen to another voice.
Yeah. So you talked about new product development, and that's part of your new role. What are some of the things, or the thing that you're most excited about for technicians that's on the horizon?
Oh man, everything in the data center world is just amazing. It's a new window of opportunity for us. To be honest, I did not work in data centers when I was in the field. However, hearing the stories and being able to envision, you walk into a building and it's just a row of chillers. I mean, that's my dream. That's, never having to pick up and move each day is huge. And being able to see the massive amounts of energy and cooling being produced by these pieces of equipment, and knowing that, you have a big part in keeping that stuff up and running. That entire world, the mission critical spaces, sometimes you think it can be more stressful, and it is, but also when you solve that problem, you feel like a bit of a hero too.
Yeah. We hear a lot about productivity with new tools, especially AI or using data. Are you getting in any of that, or anything that you can share with the audience here?
Yeah, we are constantly looking for ways to integrate anything that is going to make our technicians more productive, more efficient, and make their jobs a little easier. So there have been some beginning stages around things like AI. We do provide them different tools where they may send a snapshot of a serial number and it kicks back some information for them automatically. Whether or not they need to utilize it, the key is just that it's there for them at their fingertips if they need it. And that's just sort of the tip of the spear where it comes to that. We're, constantly looking for other ways to make our techs jobs easier in the field. They get hit from a lot of different directions. So, one of the things I always sort of say is that, the tech's job is to turn wrenches for 8 hours. That's what we bill for. That's what we charge for. That's the technician's job. But they do a lot of other things in that 8 hours. So you're still expected to be able to accomplish all of that and do your 8 hours worth of wrench turning. So any way we can shorten the time that they're looking for other things, IDing parts, ordering parts, going to get parts, all of those different items, it just makes everybody's job easier and keeps us moving.
How does connected mechanical fit into all this?
Connected mechanical is huge. Being able to, number one, trend a piece of equipment, that's a huge benefit. As a technician, you would run a lot of service calls where you show up and the equipment's running and they say, well, yesterday it did this. And your answer sort of, well, it's working now. I can only tell so much from what it did. And you can look into things and ID some things, but being able to run a call the next day and see that, hey, at 2 a.m., all of your valves slammed shut. We lost flow. That's why your chiller tripped. That's an added service to the customer. They feel as though you've given them an appropriate resolution to the issue they're bringing to you. Being able to roll less trucks and being able to log in remotely and see a site, maybe before I even go to the site, potentially is huge. It also builds a little more trust with the customers. It provides them a greater service. And as a technician, any additional tools I can get are tools that I want to have.
Love it. All right, let's close this out. Yeah, you've been a technician a long time. You've been in and around the technician space. What is the craziest, weirdest story from a job that you've heard?
Oh man, there's so many, but the one that I took part in myself was we had a job site in Baltimore, a big casino that was going up, and a lot of crazy things went on every day that we showed up because the casino was open overnight. We'd show up at 6 a.m. and each day we would walk in, check in at the security office. There was a big wall of individuals who had been permanently banned in all the crimes they'd committed against the casino the night before. So we enjoyed showing up, handing our IDs over each day and reviewing the board to see who had been out. I was part of a conversation where one individual had apparently been permanently banned from the casino 3 and 4 times, and one of the notes under his name said, "How does he keep getting in here?" And
Harry Houdini.
Yeah. That same casino, we worked what was supposed to be overnights, but turned into essentially 20-hour shifts for 3 weeks straight, trying to take a piece of equipment down, make the repair, get it back online all within the same day. And that was in single-digit temperatures outside. But then when we stepped into the equipment, they were big custom air handlers. The inside the air handlers was around 100 degrees. So we were fully suited to go on the roof. And as soon as we stepped in, had to take everything off. And the site developed a nickname for sometimes the lack of maintenance or some of the items they would choose to do. But it was a constant thorn in our side as technicians. We knew when we got called there, it wasn't going to be a fun trip.
You know, that sauna cold bath, that's like a thing today now. Like all the kids are doing it.
If somebody had walked on the roof not knowing we were in that unit working, it would have looked like 3 guys just evaporated on the rooftop.
All right, Zach. Well,
Great.
Thank you for giving us a little peek inside the life of the technician world. Really appreciate the conversation today.
Yeah, thank you.
Sure, no problem. Thank you, guys.
Ready to electrify your next HVAC project? Trane leads the way with heat pumps and heat recovery solutions designed to meet demanding market needs and evolving regulations. From project design to installation, Trane is your partner in smarter, greener electrification of heat. Want to stay ahead of the future of HVAC products? Don't miss out. Visit Trane.com today.
All right, listener, we got a fun one here in honor of everybody completing their fantasy football drafts. We wanted to do one as well, but instead of, your traditional NFL football, we are going to do application engineering fantasy draft.
Yes.
For those who don't know, application engineering is kind of a famous group inside of Trane. These are some of the best and the brightest that have come up. They do a lot of work on system level engineering. So how do you take products and pieces, put them together with controls over the top to optimize the system for whatever you're trying to optimize for? All right, so Dan and I are going to play rock, paper, scissors to see who goes first. We're going to draft a quarterback, a running back, a wide receiver, a defense, and a kicker. Ready?
Great.
Rock, paper, scissors, shoot.
Oh, scissors.
Tied. Rock, paper, scissors, shoot.
Yes.
Oh, one with the rock.
First pick. All right, well, I think we both know who's going to probably go early in the first round, and I luckily get to take Mick Schwedler as my quarterback. It's a no-brainer choice. He knows the game. He knows everything in the industry. He's a leader in what he's good at. He's very smart, and he's going to bring my team to the championship.
Recently retired Mick Schwedler, applications engineering for a long time.
42 years.
National ASHRAE president. Kind of an easy number 1 pick.
Yeah, I mean, it's like, hey, I'll take Tom Brady.
I get it. All right, my number 1 pick, I'm also going to go quarterback, John Murphy.
Okay.
One of the best in the industry. If you've ever met him, one of the most helpful people. He sat right behind me. He was probably very annoyed with me because I had to ask him every question that came in. Number 1 pick for me. Number 2 overall,
Solid
my
pick.
quarterback.
Solid pick. I'm going to pick a running back.
Mm-hmm.
I'm picking Ben Sikora for my running back.
Oh!
You know why? You got to think about this position, and you can just give him the pigskin. He cuts through the line and makes progress. Like, he's so consistent. He's my pick. I feel good about it.
I like it. That's a good one. All right, with my second pick, I'm going to go defense. I'm going to draft Lee Klein as my defense.
Okay.
One of the best in terms of hydronic design. He knew how to get water where it needed to go,
Yep.
you know?
I mean, he's obviously going to go high in this draft, so no surprises there.
There you go.
I'm going to pick a wide receiver next.
Okay.
And I'm picking somebody who was on the team. I'm picking you for my wide receiver. I need somebody that can be very reliable. You're going to throw the ball down the field. You need them to catch it. Got some feet, turn that defense into burnt toast.
I'm flattered.
Taking it.
I'm flattered.
You're next.
I like it. All right, my running back, Dave Guckelberger.
Okay. I never
Not
worked
only-
with Dave, but I know the name.
Yes, not only does he have a fantastic last name,
Yes.
Guckelberger, but another great guy. One of the best application engineers out there. He's my running back.
Okay. I'm picking a defense as well.
Okay.
I'm picking Justin Weeman for my defense.
Okay.
You want somebody to put up a wall? You want this guy to stop the offense? That is it. I don't even have to say much more. I think that's a solid D.
I like it. All right, my wide receiver is Paul Solberg, the Soul Man.
Okay.
If you needed a split system, he was the guy. Probably still is. I think a lot of people miss him out in the field.
Yeah. A lot of people do. We get asked for, hey, who took over? Who's the new Paul?
Good question.
No, that's a good one. Rounding it off with a kicker.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you need somebody to change the position on the field, right?
Oh, yeah.
I'm going with Ryan Geister for my kicker. He can really change the position.
There is a little caveat there. He never actually was an application engineer. He managed.
I know.
the
I
team.
figure
Yeah.
like it's.
That's okay. That's all right. We'll let it slide.
Thank you.
All right, my
Thank you,
kicker.
Kamish.
What's one thing that a lot of kickers have in common? A little quirky, a little different, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep, that's fair.
All right. My kicker, Dennis Stanky.
Okay, I actually met Dennis Stanky at a retirement party not too long ago.
Well, it must have been a good party because talking to Dennis is great. If you have a chance to talk to Dennis, he's an awesome guy. He's always got something fun. Always got something interesting to say. He's my kicker. So I'll run down my quarterback, John Murphy, running back, Dave Guckelberger, wide receiver, Paul Solberg, defense, Lee Klein, kicker, Dennis Stanky.
Nice. I got quarterback, Mick Schwedler, running back, Ben Sikora, wide receiver, you, defense, Justin Weeman, and kicker, Ryan Geister.
Yeah, my team's kicking your butt. It's not even close.
Yeah, I feel pretty good about it.
All right, up next we got Stat of the Day.
Stat of the day. Here comes your
Stat of the Day. Stat of the Day.
stat of the day.
All right, listener, your Stat of the Day is highest paid athlete by sport. Dano, you want to take a shot at what sports are in the top 10?
I mean, I would guess football, baseball, NBA, Formula One.
You are one of the top four. Okay, let me start on number 10. We'll go 10 to 1. Number 10 is Fabio Quartararo. MotoGP makes $14 million a year.
What's Moto? Is that like crotch rockets?
It must be, yeah. MotoGP, Moto Grand Prix. Number 9, WWE Pro Wrestling makes it. Roman Reigns is making $15 million a year.
Oh, yeah.
NASCAR, Kyle Busch, $17 million a year. Dak Prescott, NFL, $60 million. There's a big jump from NASCAR at 17 to the NFL at 60. Dak Prescott's number 1. Number 1 in baseball is Shohei Ohtani, $70 million. NBA, SGA from the OKC Thunder, $71 million. Max Verstappen, Formula One, $72 million. Canelo Alvarez, boxing, $73 million. This is a year, by the way. Golf, number 2.
Ooh, bumping up a bit.
Yeah, with all that live money out there. John Rahm makes the list at number 2, $100 million a year. Number 1, with a bullet, not even close, Cristiano Ronaldo is making $234 million a year.
234,304. He's got a couple hundred extra grand.
Wow.
That's insane.
That is a lot.
$200 million to play soccer.
It's a good gig if you can get it.
Yeah, sure. Might as well.
Well, listener, that's your Stat of the Day. Unfortunately, Dano, you didn't make the list this year. Maybe next year?
Yeah, next year. All right. Thanks for listening to this episode of Cool Air Hot Takes. Thanks so much to Zach Zentz for joining us today. It was a great interview. Thanks to the Cool Air Hot Takes production team, Elena, Wanyi, Bailey, Ainsley, Katie, and Christy. Thank you, guys.
All right. Send us your questions and hot takes by leaving us a comment on Spotify or YouTube. Leave us a review on Apple. Drop us a message at coolair.hottakes@trane.com. Don't forget, you can also rate us wherever you listen. 5 stars would be great.
Until next time, stay cool and keep those takes hot.